Welcome to the Goodyear City Council meeting. We're excited to have you be a part of this important public process. Tonight, you will have the opportunity to address City Council on both non-agenda and agenda items. You must fill out a speaker request card in order to address the City Council. The agendas and speaker request cards are located in the back of the council chambers. Please drop your completed card in the tray next to the blank speaker cards. If the meeting has already begun, please hand it to the city employee at the back of the room. You may check the "I do not wish to speak" option on the card. This allows you to let council know your opinion without having to speak. In accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, please contact a staff member if you need any assistance. Public comment on a non-agenda item will take place during the citizen comment portion of the evening. These are items that don't appear on tonight's formal agenda. The city clerk will call your name when it's time for you to speak. At that time, please approach the podium and tell us your name for the record. You'll have a maximum of 3 minutes. The timer is on the screens visible from the podium. Note that you may also choose not to speak if other speakers before you have said what you wanted to say. Shouting, cheering, and loud noises will not be tolerated, and violators may be removed for disrupting the meeting. Goodyear City Council meetings stream live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and online at goodyearaz.gov. Follow the city's social media pages so you don't miss out on all that's happening in Goodyear. Thank you for coming to this meeting and being an active part of your city. And remember, it's a great time to be in Goodyear.
I'd like to call the regular meeting to order for March 23rd, 2026. Mark everybody who's present. We all good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please join Councilmember Beckles in the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gracious and eternal God, we gather here today as servants of this community, mindful of the trust placed in our hands. We thank you for the opportunity to meet in peace and for the freedom to govern with integrity. We lift up the city of Goodyear during this session of significant transition and growth, and we ask for your special guidance as the council makes decisions regarding a new city manager. As our city expands, give this council wisdom to manage our resources, especially our precious water and energy. Bless the projects that come before us, from our new downtown spaces to our neighborhood parks, and help us to remain a city where every resident feels safe, heard, and valued. And let us pause today as a member of our community and lift them up. We ask for your healing touch upon our resident who was injured at the Goodyear Ballpark. We pray for her recovery, for the relief of her pain, and the peace of mind for her family during this time of healing. We also come with hearts full of gratitude for the men and women who serve this city. We thank you for the swift and professional response of the Goodyear Fire Department and the Goodyear Police Department. We are grateful for their expertise, their steady hands, and their dedication to keep us safe in our moments of need. May we continue to look out for one another and remain a community defined by care and swift action. And dear Lord, we also turn our hearts toward the needs of our country. In a time of economic uncertainty and rising costs of living, we pray for those in our community and across the nation who are struggling to make ends meet. Grant our national leaders the wisdom to act with justice and the humility to seek common ground. Heal the divisions of our land. Replace fear with hope, reminding us that we are one people bound together by a shared commitment to liberty and common good. And finally, may the deliberations in this council chamber tonight be marked with clarity, kindness, and a sincere desire to do what is right for the people of Goodyear. Bless those who serve, those who protect, and all who call this city home. In your name, we pray, amen.
Amen. Next on the agenda is to approve the appointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Any speakers?
No, Mayor.
All right, will the council please enter a motion a second to approve the appointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission as recommended by the council subcommittee on boards, commissions, and committees? I see a motion and a second. Is there any questions? Go ahead and open up for the vote. Passes 7-0. Now is the time for the members to, oh, first of all, you're going to swear somebody in?
Monica Lee, will you please join me in the well? Face this towards you, and you're going to speak into that, and I'll speak into this.
Okay.
And raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Monica Lee,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties of Commissioner
discharge the duties of Commissioner
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So I do affirm.
So I do affirm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now is the time for members of the public who wish to address the city council on any non-agenda items within the jurisdiction of the city of Goodyear. We have any speaker cards?
Yes, Mayor, I have 4 speaker cards for
Okay.
non-agenda items. First up, Harley Coffin.
Before you start, Holly, the council will listen to the comments, may take any one of the following: respond to criticism, request the staff investigate and report on the matter, request that the matter be scheduled on a future agenda. You have 3 minutes to let you know when there's 20 seconds left. You're up. Oh, you can tell us that you're a city, living in the city, but you don't have to give the address, okay?
Okay,
Go for
thank
it.
you. Well, I may be a little bit premature in my visit. My name is Harley Coffin. I do live in Goodyear, up at EMR, 10-year resident, 8 years as a property owner. Proud to be here. Recently, we've experienced a lot of issues with electric motorcycles. We've been calling Goodyear Police Department, we've been calling the HOA, and we just don't seem like we're getting any type of response. The last time that we talked to Goodyear Police, then the reason that I'm here is that I was led, and not falsely led, but encouraged to be here because that gentleman thought that there was going to be something submitted to the board and that I was going to come and support, that. I understand there's a lot of legislation and things that need to happen, but it's getting critical. Somebody's going to get hurt. I just about got run over on a blind corner. I've got some documentation that we've, have done that I would like to submit to you guys or the police or whomever. It doesn't really, make a lot of difference to me. Tomorrow, I will be going to the Estrella Homeowners Association meeting, giving them the same packet. All of the photos in here, the faces have been blacked out because we are talking about underage people. So they have been blacked out, so we don't have to worry about that. But the police do have, and the HOA does have, these same pictures, except they've got pictures with faces. They're high resolution and they can draw them in. So, I will keep an eye on the agenda, which I should have done to begin with, bad part on me. But we want to be part of the solution. We don't want to be just throwing things at you guys and throwing things at the police. My family comes from a long line of police officers and, we want to help. But when we don't feel like we're being heard, or we feel like, and I started to say misled, and that's not true either. We just don't feel like we're being heard. And so, we would like to support, we would like to know whether it's a Goodyear board problem, whether it's the police problem, whether it's the HOA issue, and then we want to help. And so, you've got my contact information. If, the police want to contact me for help, if one of you guys want to contact me for help, I want to step up, and I've got others, that would like to do that. So that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you. We're working on this. We're very familiar with the issue that you're talking about. We're working on some ordinances to address that. On his information that he has there, who would he give that to?
To the city clerk. And
City
we'll
clerk?
then get that to the police chief.
She'll come down and get it from you.
That is the same information that will be going, to the HOA and things tomorrow. It's kind of a little thing.
Yeah, do you want to give it to, does that go to Brian? Yeah, okay. Should make sure it gets to Brian.
Okay, so like, if anybody else gets under 16 seconds, they win a prize and I don't, or something.
All right,
Hey, thought I'd ask.
thank
you.
you. Who's next?
Seth Philo.
Again, just your name and whether you're a resident, and got the 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, I'm Seth Philo. I am a resident of Goodyear. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm here on behalf of Valley of the Sun Medical Dispensary, and we first want to thank you guys for your continued partnership over the last 13 years. We're very proud to serve our patients here in Goodyear. We're here today to request a targeted amendment to Section 4211, subsection C, Item 5, to extend our permitted hours of operation from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. While this request might be processed as an amendment to our existing zoning ordinance, it is a very narrow, site-specific adjustment to an operational standard, not a change to our zoning policy, nor a change to land use or intensity. Our use is already approved, established, and very compliant. This simply allows us to better serve the needs of our patients that we serve. Today, our 7 p.m. closing time creates a real barrier to access for the members of our community. To our knowledge, we are the earliest closing dispensary in the entire state of Arizona, and significantly earlier than the typical 10 p.m. to 24-hour times that other cities allowed for it. Many of our patients work standard hours, have long commutes, or are managing daily challenges that make it very difficult to arrive before we close. For some, it's not just an inconvenience. It means going without very helpful medication that helps them sustain their day-to-day lives. We serve individuals dealing with chronic pain, insomnia, anxiety, PTSD, cancer, and other serious conditions. These are not occasional needs. These are ongoing daily realities. And access to consistent, knowledgeable care matters. At the federal level, the recent movement towards rescheduling cannabis reflects a broader recognition of its medical value. For our patients, that recognition has long been a reality. They rely on this as part of their daily care. Over the last 13 years, our team has built relationships with our patients. They rely on our staff for guidance, product knowledge, and consistency in their treatment. And when they are unable to reach us due to limited hours, that continuity is disrupted. Extending our hours does not change how we operate. Our security, compliance, and operational procedures remain the exact same. This request simply expands access within an already controlled and highly regulated environment. At its core, this is about ensuring that patients in Goodyear can access the care that they rely on that reflect their real lives, not just what fits a restricted schedule. We are committed to continue serving this community responsibly with the same level of care that we have provided for over a decade now. We respectfully ask for your support and expediency in approving this amendment. For many of our patients, this is not about convenience. It's about whether they can access the care that they rely on at all. And we really appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. You have his information? Okay. All right, we'll get it to the manager. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Jeff Redmond.
Hi, Jeff.
Well, hello, everybody. Good day. Jeff Redmond. I'm a resident of the community, specifically up in Estrella. As you know, I come to the podium here a few times talking about specifically my focus is preserving our way of life here during this massive growth. So I'm going to lay a couple of new topics on you, but before I do, I want to make a couple of shout outs. Katie Wilkin, is she in the?
Right behind you.
Katie, thank you for your follow-up. Appreciate it. Last time I was here with the Charlie Chaplin version of the meeting, right? We didn't have any recording of it. She got back with me very promptly and gave me everything that I was looking for, and she took some notes to take to others that might make a difference, okay? The other shout out would be the artist that paints the power boxes. I don't know who that is, but they're doing a wonderful job.
It varies.
Yeah. Great job. I'd like to see more of that, which leads me kind of to some of the topics that I bring up regularly about preserving the quality of life in Goodyear here. Signage, I'll just classify it as signage. We're coming into an election season, and a joy for all of us, right? Seems like 6 months out of every 2 years, we're inundated with signage of a political nature, right? And it's strewn everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So I don't want to be too critical of that, other than asking that maybe the city take a look, that they be positioned in areas that are strategic and consolidated instead of just wherever they might like to put them. Because with all the construction, with everything going on, now we've got signs, it's just too much. So maybe take a look at where that signage is being placed. The other thing, illegal dumping. It's, I don't know about certain areas within the city, but on the outskirts of the city up in Australia where I live, it's becoming a real problem. And I'm not talking about just Rainbow Road, which is a real problem. I'm talking about now it's starting to work its way to street corners, to open land areas. So we need to kind of maybe brush up the best practices or the policies and procedures with all these builders and developers, specifically with all the growth coming. I believe it's probably the contractors, right? The carpet guys, the masonry guys. We're just seeing a lot of dark of the night dumping going on. And I'm not sure how you actually prevent that, but if we can't prevent it, maybe we can educate them a little bit better, and then maybe we can have a solution as a city to get it cleaned up more frequently so it doesn't just sit there. So a couple of topics, food for thought. I appreciate your time. Okay.
Thank you. Do you have any specific areas that you want to turn over to code enforcement?
I live out in the most southern part of Australia, across from Cantamia, building a storage unit and whatnot out there. So that area and side streets are starting to see some of that dumping.
If you see
and
that,
then you turn down Rainbow Road, it's out of hand.
You see that, go ahead and send it into the city location.
Yeah, and there's some pictures I might gather from some others in the community that they've posted on Facebook, and it's not good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Stephen
Next.
Angel.
Good evening, Council. As stated, my name is Stephen Angel, and I'm a city resident as
Okay.
well. Today, I'm here to talk to you, or ask you to consider asking city employees to look at the definition of a driveway as per our city code 622A as in Adam 7. Specifically, the second part of that city code, which states paved areas contiguous to a driveway and in excess of 100 square feet in size shall be considered part of the driveway for the purpose of this provision. The reason I bring this to the council tonight is that I've been a resident of the city of Goodyear since 2019. And it wasn't until November of 2025 that I had the occasion to be in contact with Paul Rooks, our city code enforcement officer, Riley Gibson, our assistant planner intern, and Christian Williams, our planning manager, in reference to what I consider side driveway of my residence, which I used for over 6 years after buying the property. So my single 4-bedroom residence is constructed when viewed from the street with a garage to the right-hand side with a driveway extending to the roadway, as would be expected. My RV gate and side drive is on the opposite side of the property. And again, that RV gate extends to a paved area that's, accessible to the rear of my yard. According to City Goodyear code, because my lot is less than 100 feet by approximately 2 feet, and I was not aware of this at the time of the purchase of this residence, but that RV side drive is considered part of the front yard and not a driveway, even though it is concrete pavement and completely capable of holding multiple vehicles. My neighborhood is comprised of multiple residential structures that have RV gates similar to mine on the opposite side of the garage and RV gates on the same side of the garage of other residences. Because the city code is worded the way it is, those driveways that are on the same side of the garage as the RV gate and are contiguous or touching are considered one driveway and are completely capable of being parked in. The opposite goes for mine, even though they are the same overall area, just on opposite sides of the residence. I had a little bit more for you. We're getting a little short on time, so I'll cut to the chase. Goodyear's growing, families grow. I have 4 licensed drivers in my home. We all have vehicles, and I have an assigned work vehicle and other things. I would just like to be able to park not on the roadway, as I would be cited by the HOA. I parked in this driveway for 6 years with no issue until my neighbor applied to get the same thing that was in my house done to his. He was obviously denied for the reasons I have laid out, and then started reporting me. So I now have to juggle cars and inconvenience family members. So I look forward to hearing from the city planning and zoning department and moving forward.
Okay, you have his information?
Yes, Mayor.
I'm sure it'll get to you, Katie? Okay,
Yes, Mayor.
all right,
We'll get it.
we'll get it to you, okay? Thank you, sir. Anything else? Okay. Thank you. Will the city clerk please read the consent agenda, items 2 through 11 by title only?
Item 2, approval of minutes. Item 3, approval of Series 12 restaurant liquor license for Magdalena Steak. Item 4, approved budget amendments and related expenditure authority. Item 5, approval of bulk water agreement with Liberty Utilities. Item 6, approval of an intergovernmental agreement to participate in the West Valley Mobile Field Force Team. Item 7, approval of intergovernmental agreement with the State of Arizona Department of Transportation for Intelligent Transportation Systems Dilemma Zone Protection Equipment. Item 8, adopt resolution number 2026-2513, authorizing the acquisition of real and personal property interest needed for the Estrella Parkway and Spring Drive Traffic Signal Improvement Project. Item 9, adopt resolution number 2026-2514, authorizing the submission of an application for the fiscal year 2026 Phoenix Urban Area Security Grant Funds for $391,000 for the Goodyear Police Department to purchase night vision devices, authorizing the city manager or their designee to execute all documents relating to the grant application and grant award, and authorizing a budget transfer to allow for expenditure of the grant if grant funds are awarded. Item 10, adopt resolution number 2026-2515, authorizing the submission of an application for the fiscal year 2025 Local Law Enforcement Crime Gun Intelligence Center Integration Grant Funds for $441,884 for the Goodyear Police Department to purchase a match point analysis station, brass tacks acquisition station, and a PAG 800 stereo zoom microscope to establish a crime gun intelligence center, authorizing the city manager or their designee to execute all documents relating to the grant application and grant award, and authorizing a budget transfer to allow for expenditure of the grant if grant funds are awarded. Lastly, item 11, adopt resolution number 2026-2516, authorizing the submission of 3 applications for fiscal year 2026 Phoenix Urban Area Security Initiative Grant Program funds for the Goodyear Police Department to the Department of Homeland Security, authorizing the city manager or their designee to execute all documents relating to said applications, to execute the grant agreements, and approve the required budget transfers if grant funds are awarded.
Thank you. Anybody want to pull anything? Seeing none, any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Okay. City Council enter a motion in a second. I see a motion and a second up on the board. Can you go ahead and open for the vote? Passes 7-0. Thank you. We have one public hearing tonight for the second hearing for the annexation of Liberty Elementary School District Number 25. Going to open a public hearing. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the public, please.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Guadalupe Ortiz Cortez, Principal Planner. Before you is a public hearing to consider an annexation for Liberty Elementary School District. Tonight's public hearing is the last step in the annexation process. The subject property is approximately 16.25 acres and is located north of West Lower Buckeye Road, east of South Perryville Road, and west of the Pradera subdivision. The site is now home to the Loretta Sombro Elementary School, which opened in August 2025. The red dashed line on the screen shows the boundary between the city of Goodyear, the county, and the city of Buckeye. The annexation process included council authorization to consider the annexation request, the approval of an intergovernmental agreement, IGA, a public hearing to provide the opportunity for public input. No public comment was received at that public hearing. Tonight, we are concluding the final public hearing. We are conducting the final public hearing for the annexation. The applicant has fulfilled their IGA obligations. The annexation request is consistent with the city's annexation policy criteria, which includes the city's ability to serve the property, long-term desirability, and general plan compatibility. As mentioned, the Liberty Elementary School District has completed their IGA obligations, including the construction of infrastructure to support the school. Mayor, council members, staff recommends approval of the annexation. I am available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Anybody in the audience like to speak? Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. City Clerk, please read ordinance by number 2026-1645 by title only.
Adopt ordinance number 2026-1645, extending and increasing the corporate limits of the City of Goodyear, Maricopa County, State of Arizona, pursuant to the provisions of Title IX, Chapter 4, Article 7, Arizona Revised Statutes, and amendments thereto, by annexing approximately 16.25 acres of property generally located along West Lower Buckeye Road, east of South Perryville Road, which is contiguous to and is surrounded by the existing city limits of the City of Goodyear.
Thank you. Is council enter a motion and a second to adopt the ordinance number 2026-1645? I see a motion and a second. Open for discussion. I don't see any questions on the board. Oh, you got one? Go ahead.
Is this the last step in the annexation process? I know it's a multi-step process. Was this the last step?
That is correct.
Okay. I'm good. Yeah, like before I supported it, so I just wanted to see if it was coming back again. So thank you.
Councilmember.
It was going to be very similar to that, Mayor. This being the last step, I know we had previous hearing on it. I just want to reiterate, one of the most effective things that this does is provides our law enforcement, our public safety personnel to operate the school just on a regular basis, SROs. When I came here previously from the Agua Fria district, we worked with the city of Buckeye to annex Canyon View High School for the exact same reason, the ability to have SROs, keep our kids safe. So that, that's priority one. So strongly support this and look forward to helping that district out.
All right, let's open it up for a vote. Passes 7-0. Thank you. We have 3 items on business. I'd like to remind council to wait for a motion and a second for discussing. First item is consider approval of the fiscal year 2027 annual public art plan. Please introduce yourself to the public.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. David Seid, Interim Parks and Recreation Director. Each year, the Parks and Recreation Department looks forward to coming before council to present the upcoming fiscal year public art plan, and tonight is no exception. The FY27 Public Art Plan is a historic one, and one that will be highlighted by our presenters in just a moment, but it is also a comprehensive plan that adds items to the city's growing public art inventory while also maintaining and preserving existing pieces. The Arts and Culture Division was established by council in 2006 to create a distinct sense of place and cultural destination by integrating art into pieces and places. The Arts and Culture Division manages the city's public art program and coordinates with the private sector and other governmental agencies in promoting arts and cultural excellence. The division also works to increase awareness of the contributions of arts and culture to Goodyear's economy and overall quality of life. To learn more on all the great things being proposed in the FY27 plan, I will now turn things over to Arts and Culture Coordinator Lane Ruiz, who will lead tonight's presentation.
Thank you, Dave. Hi, Mayor and Council. My name's Lane Ruiz. I'm the Arts and Culture Coordinator here in Goodyear, and I'm lucky enough to work really closely with our Arts and Culture Commission to help advance arts and culture and create a sense of place here in Goodyear. As mentioned, we're here tonight for the fiscal year 2027 Annual Public Art Plan. As part of the Public and Performing Arts Ordinance, the Goodyear Arts and Culture Commission shall make recommendations to City Council for each immediate fiscal year and project expenditures for the next 5 fiscal years. Today, we are going to share Arts and Culture Commission goals, highlight some amazing projects we're working on, and provide upcoming project recommendations. I'm so happy to have the chair of our commission here with me tonight, Nancy Love, and she is going to share on behalf of the commission. Nancy.
Thank you, Lane. As Lane stated, my name is Nancy Love, and I'm honored to be the chair of your Arts and Culture Commission. As the chair, I have the honor of working with our amazing commission members, as well as your amazing city staff. Guyleen, Lane, Dalton, Dawn provide exceptional guidance and support to our commission. And for that, I just wanted to say thank you. Thanks for all you do for our commission. I'm excited to speak to you today on behalf of the commission to present our annual arts plan. But Dave kind of stole my thunder a little bit. Okay. I did want to mention that this is the 20th anniversary of the Public and Performing Arts Ordinance. Council approved that ordinance on April 24th, 2006. For nearly 20 years, you and councils before you have enriched the lives of our residents and visitors by supporting arts and culture in our city. As a resident and of course a commissioner, I am sincerely grateful for your support, so thank you. Now, onto our public arts plan. The Arts and Culture Commission focus on key goals to drive our mission. Those goals include drive economic growth. A thriving arts and culture scene attracts businesses, people, and tourists. We look forward to further collaborations with our new Office of Tourism to assist in accomplishing this goal. Provide arts for all. We offer arts and activities for all ages. Our activities invite people to experience art regardless of their talent or experience level. So truly, art in Goodyear is for everyone. Advanced public art. When driving through Goodyear, you are bound to see one of our amazing public artworks. We have over 100 in our collection, and it's growing. The commission continues to explore opportunities for temporary artwork, identify new public art installations, and celebrate our existing public art collection. An example, and one of my personal favorites of our public art, is right here in front of City Hall on the lawn of Great Joy. And I hope during our presentation tonight, some of our other public art pieces come to your mind as some of your favorites. All right, build a culture of art. By supporting creative opportunities in public art, we ensure that the arts continue to shape our community's identity, add vibrancy to our shared spaces, and enhance the overall quality of life for our residents and visitors alike. So now I'm excited to share some of the highlights of our current fiscal year. Some of our focuses include public art, arts programming, and events. We strive to engage and support the Goodyear community through art that creates a sense of space, place, and enhances the quality of life for Goodyear residents and visitors. This year, we're currently working on 12 public art projects at 22 locations. The Public Arts, Culture, and Events team has hosted 20 special events this year. A few highlights include our In the Park series, and those include such as Jazz in the Park, fan favorite as well as my own, Chalk Art in the Park. And oh, you will not want to miss Alice in Wonderland Theater, the Theater in the Park, Alice in Wonderland, that's this Saturday at the Bullard Wash Amphitheater. So beyond events, we also have more than 50 multi-generational arts programs in our community. We have a variety of offerings which include art classes and exhibitions for teens. I hope each of you have had an opportunity to take a look at the current Mayor Select exhibit that's currently right out in the lobby. I come and view that every year, and the talent our local teens has just amazes me. Other programs include art lectures and fine art shows and our very popular creative aging program. We are thankful for the great partnerships we have with local art organizations as well as educational institutions to help make all these projects possible. And finally, I'd like to take just a moment to highlight our current art projects. As you know, many of our art projects are multi-year initiatives, with art being one piece of a capital improvement project. Ongoing projects include the Bullard Wash Trail, the Estrella Bridge, 3 fire stations, Goodyear Rec Campus Phase 2, traffic cabinets, which one of the earlier public speakers mentioned how much they love, and many more. We continue to emphasize emerging artists through projects like the Tortoise and Hare mural, created through the Catitudes Arts Mural Mentoring Program. If you haven't had an opportunity to see it, I would highly recommend you checking it out at the GRC. It's well worth a trip around the indoor walking track at the GRC to take a look at that. Another emerging artist project is the Solid Rock Heart, one of the mayor's favorites, which highlights the creativity of our local teens and our great partnership with the Teen Center. With that, I thank you for your time and again for your support, and I will now turn it back over to Lane.
All right, thank you, Nancy. What a great tribute to our commission's efforts in celebration of this year's accomplishments. I would now like to switch gears and talk about our future. I'll review recommended projects for fiscal year 27 through 31. As we look at this presentation, I would like to point out that the recommended funding level is to provide context on what is being recommended for each project. With the adoption of this plan, I just want to note that this does not include approving the funding level. This will be addressed during the city's annual budget process. All right, let's dive into these recommendations. Temporary art brings energy, experimentation, and flexibility to our community, allowing artists to test new ideas and engage audiences in unique ways. These installations activate public spaces and create moments of surprise and delight throughout the city. Temporary art also provides opportunities for community participation, partnerships, and pilot programs, helping us understand what really resonates with our residents. Our temporary mural experiences at our Veterans Day and Juneteenth events have added beauty and expressed the deep meaning behind these events, and is something we would like to continue to do in the following year. Next, we also have our Ola West Valley. So we participated in this inaugural program in FY25, which stands for highlighting our local arts in the West Valley. Municipal public art programs in the West Valley partner to provide unique, site-specific, temporary art projects throughout the region. The program connects our West Valley cities and residents to arts and culture resources, highlights the abundance of local arts and culture activities and opportunities, and provides mentorship for local artists to enter the field of public art. We are looking forward to continuing this bi-yearly program. As part of our commitment to integrating art throughout the city, we're excited to share a recommended permanent public art project at the Planned Police Department substation adjacent to Fire Station 188. By incorporating art into this space, we not only enhance the environment for staff and visitors, but we're also creating a long-lasting connection between public safety and the community that they serve. As we continue adding new installations in Goodyear, we remain committed to caring for our existing collection. We now have 62 embellished cabinets in our collection. As these continue to age, it's important to address ongoing maintenance of aging traffic cabinet art, as well as the continued expansion of the program to keep our city beautiful. This also includes refreshed artwork on the heart of Goodyear. As you may remember, we have 10 hearts located at parks throughout the city. It's time to create new, vibrant artwork on these fiberglass hearts that celebrate and reflect the residents and the communities where they are located. Lastly, you may recognize the iconic sculpture in front of the ballpark if you went to a spring training game. The Ziz, created by artist Donald Lipsky in 2009, is an award-winning public art piece that stands 60 feet, 6 inches high, the exact distance from pitcher's mound to first base. It's time to refurbish the paint and restore it to its original colors and apply a UV protection to preserve its vibrancy for years to come. These maintenance and conservation efforts ensure that Goodyear's public art remains a sense of pride and inspiration here in our city. And now we'll take a look at 3 projects we have on the horizon. The Art Trail at GSQ is a project identified in the GSQ Regional Center Planned Area Development to include 3 major public art nodes along 150th and Bullard Ave. The goal of this art trail is to welcome those that visit, drive economic growth, and create a sense of place for downtown Goodyear. Fire Station 1810 is a future planned station at MC 85 in Cotton, where a thoughtfully designed installation will reflect the dedication, service, and values of public safety and welcome those that visit this new station. And lastly, we have Wildflower Park Renovation Project. As part of this park renovation, we are looking to add public art to promote connectedness between the North and South Park and create a sense of place for the Wildflower neighborhood. Well, as you can see, arts and culture has a tremendous impact on our city and has been a strategic focus here in Goodyear. It's my absolute pleasure to celebrate our commission and discuss future projects that continue to make Goodyear a hub for arts and culture in the West Valley. Now, with that being said, I would like to ask for the approval of the fiscal year 2027 annual public art plan, and that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Are there any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Anybody in the audience like to speak? Seeing none, can I get a motion and a second up on the board? I do. Now open for council discussion. Let's see, first up, Wally.
Well, I want to thank the Arts Commission. It's really hard when we get you to say yes to be appointed to this commission. It sounds like a lot of fun, but it really is a lot of work. And we thank you so much, because every time we drive through any neighborhood or on any of our main streets, just seeing the beautiful colors makes you feel good. But I have to be honest, I had no idea what that Ziz was. I was there when they dedicated it, and I kept saying, what is that thing? And they finally told me it was a baseball, and I said, well, then why isn't it round? That's another story. I just wanted to ask a couple of real quick questions. Do y'all have an idea of the inventory or how many cabinets we actually have in Goodyear?
Yeah, Mayor, Councilmember Campbell, we have 62 cabinets that have been embellished.
I know we've done it, but I mean total.
Total, that would be a question for engineer.
Well, that's okay. And we're going to end up y'all painting them, but we just have to do so many a year.
Correct,
And
yeah, we do what we can within our budget.
when did we start this program with the cabinets?
What was that?
When did we start this program with the cabinets?
2019.
2019, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Okay, so from 2019 to today, we've done 62 cabinets, and that's absolutely amazing. I know last week as I drove through Goodyear, I noticed a lot of artists painting, and I stopped and talked to some of them and thanked them for doing it. And I just said, I just don't see how you can be here in the heat and paint, but they just love doing it. And I'm assuming we have new artists for each one, even when we refurbish the ones we have, we bring in new folks.
Yeah, each year we put a call for artists out, and our commission works with us to select the artists and then approve the artwork that goes on those cabinets.
Wonderful. And the last thing I wanted to share with your Arts Commission, I'm president of the Friends of the Library, and our Friends of the Library commissioned a 16-year-old student to paint the mural in the teen room at our library on the second floor. And I'd love for you to go up there and take a look at it. It's gorgeous. And she was so talented. I just can imagine what she's going to do in 10 or 15 years. But I just thank y'all all so much, and we just appreciate it. You are what makes our city look so good.
We good?
That's it. I'm done.
Councilmember Kano.
Well, I also want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the commission. You guys work really hard, and it's fun because the type of work you do is very visible, very public, and you can take great joy in all of it. I also wanted to extend a thanks to the council members 20 years ago who approved this idea. It was probably a big deal at the time, but it really has been so beneficial to Goodyear and has made us a special city and has definitely given us a place in the arts community. We're legitimate, we're recognized as being art forward, and I think that that's something that we should be very proud of. I remember then council member Joe Pizzillo was the advocate for the traffic cabinets, and I think we started out with 12 or something like that, and to see that we're at 62 is really remarkable. And the quality of art is just continues to be exceptional. I just want to say I love the temporary art. It just brings a spark of energy, but it doesn't have to be there forever, and it makes a big impact for the event. And I'm very excited for the art trail at GSQ. It just integrates the art, which is so important to our city, and it's just going to be there, and it makes for great placemaking. I know that's a big buzzword in the art world, but that's definitely, we want our places to be made. So thank you for your good work.
Councilwoman Gillis.
Lane, I think you're terrific, and you know that. And I've told Guyleen the same thing when she first started the traffic cabinets and everything. You know how much I love those. So I used to see some of this stuff in Palm Springs because I would go there a lot, vacation there. And I used to think, geez, why can't we bring that to our area? Well, we've done it, and it looks great. We know the traffic cabinets are my favorite. Those are my favorite. And the hearts. I love the hearts from when you brought them, Guyleen, way back when you started them. How many hearts do we have now in the city?
Mayor, Councilmember Gillis, we have 11 now with the solid rock heart that we just installed.
11 now. Are we going to do more of those?
Right now, our artwork is we're going to refurbish the ones that we have.
The ones that we have,
Yeah.
and then maybe branch out after that.
It's always on the table, yeah.
Yeah, good, because I like both of those things. I just think that they just enhance and they set us aside from other cities, and I absolutely love it. I love the Bullard Wash project. I love it, and I think it looks really, really good. The amount of work that you guys have put into this and that you have gotten from other people to come and do is amazing. And it is, like Wally said, it's a lot of work. So thank you, everyone, for all your help and everything that you've done, because it's absolutely amazing. And I just think, Lane, you have taken this over, and it's just, you are amazing. Thank you.
Councilmember Beckles.
Yes, I just want to add my thank you to all of those that are responsible and part of our art projects. The city of Goodyear has been very intentional about their art, and that's been amazing. And I think really that it sets us apart as you drive through the city from other cities, especially in the West Valley. And I just want to thank you. My only question is, it's my understanding we're doing something artsy when we do the Australia Bridge?
That's correct, yes. Mayor, Councilmember Beckles, that project has already been designed, and we're kind of waiting for the bridge to be built so those can be fabricated and installed.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Vice Mayor.
Yeah, the arts are critical, and I really appreciate everybody's hard work being a part of the committee and bringing forth different ideas. That definitely brings a lot of vibrancy to our community, and also, like she said, a sense of place as well. So I do appreciate all the hard work. I know in our budget, I know we have a dedicated amount going. I'd like to see that doubled if we could at some point. So I'd like to see more art. I'd like to see more art in our city, because to your point, it is a direct line to economic development as well. And it just brings more people to the area, more community spaces to come and join, and it just it identifies us as a different city than other places in the area too. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
There's not a whole lot to add, except it brings great joy when the idea was on the cabinets, and now you got 62 of them. You know, I just think that's awesome. It's awesome. You know, and the one that's at the park there on Litchfield Road with the butterflies and that little gal reminds me of my two girls. So I tell you, your artists are off the charts. You know, even the art we got out front here. So again, Those who can't, love it, because I'm a numbers guy, but I love art, because I know I can't even do stickmen, but I love what you guys do. So I appreciate it. Thank you. So with that, let's see, we've got a motion and a second up there. Can we open up for a vote? 7-0. Thank you, Lane. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, item to consider amending the technical building code and international fire code. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Katie Wilkin, Development Services Director. Tonight, we are pleased to bring you the proposed international codes, including the building code and fire code, for your consideration. You might remember at our work session on common visioning earlier this year, I previewed that this would be before you as part of our efforts to update all of our codes relating to the development review process. So while this project isn't specifically called out in our city strategic plan, it certainly aligns with the direction given to us in the strategic plan on common visioning and improving the development review process. I would like to point out that Interim Fire Chief Tim Wayne is also with us tonight. Our departments work closely together on putting together the proposed codes, most especially with our Fire Marshal, Michael Bruni, who couldn't be here tonight. But Chief Wayne will be available for any questions you might have on the fire code. So with that, I would like to introduce our Chief Building Official, Cheryl Mullis, who will be presenting the proposed codes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Sorry, this is my first time. Thank you. Thank you. So good evening, Mayor and Council. As Katie said, I'm the Chief Building Official, Cheryl Mullis. I oversee the Building Safety Division as part of the Development Services Department. And what does building safety do? That's what people ask. What do we do? Our primary role is to protect every building in the city. We make it constructive correctly to the codes so that as people exit, our first responders can enter at the same time. So we keep them safe. We make sure that buildings comply with adopted codes through plan review, permitting, inspections, enforcement, and finally obtaining a C of O. And we keep it safe for people to live, work, and play. I had a question. Do you know when our first building code was adopted? Huh? 1953. Yes, so 1952, yes. So it actually is older than me. I was surprised because you're such a young city. So now I need to learn how to do this. Thank you. Here you go. Okay. We adopt the international codes that include a comprehensive suite of codes covering building, fire, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, and other disciplines. These codes differ from other codes and ordinances because it's developed by an external organization. The International Code Council, or ICC, is a nonprofit organization that creates building safety codes and standards used by more than 15,000 jurisdictions in the United States and more than 50 countries worldwide. We are currently on the 2018 International Codes. The codes are updated by ICC on a 3-year cycle. We chose to delay the adoption until the 24 to align with neighboring jurisdictions as well as Phoenix. So maintaining the international code framework is important because it provides consistency and predictability across jurisdictions. And aligning codes with neighboring communities further enhances benefits and supports regional coordination. So these are the codes that we're adopting tonight. We did have a public process. This public process was a public outreach focused on local amendments. The public outreach began through our Development Advisory Forum. We had our draft code amendments, and we shared them with the stakeholders in advance of the meetings. And at the meetings, the stakeholders were available to provide valuable feedback. In addition, Building and Fire both met with the Home Builders Association of Central Arizona. We reviewed their amendments, and through collaboration, we reached a consensus on the proposed updates and received a letter of support from the association, which is in your packet. Okay. Local amendments. I will not go through all the local amendments tonight, but I would like to share a few. So our goal is to streamline our processes for our residents.
while maintaining life safety. So the first thing, no permits will be required for water heaters if you use a licensed contractor. So that's a savings and process. No permits will be required for residential re-roofing. And they currently do require permits. These changes will simplify processes for residents and align with Goodyear neighboring jurisdictions. We do have all permits will be required for all retaining walls, regardless of height. That's more restrictive, that's new. Okay. I can just read this. Thank you. So following adoption tonight, the Goodyear Fire Department will provide a 30-day implementation period, and that'll help them align with the emerging technologies, which, as you know, we all have seen them. And Goodyear Building will provide a 90-day implementation period. And that's to allow projects that are currently in design to remain on the current codes. Additionally, for the home builders, we will provide a 1-year grace period or buffer that gives them 1 year to submit their existing standard plans to the new codes. And we will only require, as a basis for a simple and customer-centric process, we will only require the home builders to submit a new cover sheet with the codes and amendments that pertain to their plans. So make it a simpler process. Is there anything you'd like to add? No? Sorry, thank you. So, in closing, staff respectfully recommends adoption of the 24 international codes along with the proposed local amendments. There are 2 actions before you this evening. The first being the adoption of the fire code. Second is adoption of the international building codes. And these codes are 2 separate actions because they're 2 separate chapters in the city code, with fire is addressed in chapter 5 and building is addressed in chapter 9. We want to thank you, Mayor and Council, and we sincerely appreciate your time and consideration.
Thank you. Any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Anybody in the audience like to speak? Seeing none, we have 2 ordinance. First will be the city clerk. Please read ordinance number 2026-1646 by title only.
Adopt ordinance number 2026-1646, amending section 9-1-1, adoption by reference of article 9-1, technical codes of chapter 9, buildings and building regulations of the Goodyear City Code.
Will the council please enter a motion and a second to adopt the ordinance 2026-1646? I see a motion and a second up on the board. Open for council discussion. Councilmember Kano's up first.
First, I want to say great presentation, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Did a fine job.
Thank you.
This is so highly technical, definitely beyond the daily knowledge of us up here. But I just wanted to thank you for making the stakeholder engagement such a critical process and really engaging them, taking the feedback and in implementing things that worked out for both and getting that endorsement from the Home Builders Association of Central Arizona. I think that speaks well to your collaboration. Look at us, we're getting all of our codes up to date. That's another one, so that's very exciting. So my only question is, what happens to projects that are in the works right now? Where do they fall in terms of code? Are they subject to the codes at the big time they began the construction, or?
What we're doing is we're providing 90 days, but for projects that are currently in review for site plan, we're considering that part of the existing code because they already have met with us.
Okay.
We've given them guidance, so we don't want them to have to make changes to the plan. So we're going to keep it as simple as process. After 90 days, we will consider each project. If they ask to stay on the 18 codes because they started, we can do it's called a request for alternate, and we can accept that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Councilmember Campbell.
My question's real simple, Cheryl. Do they update these codes every 2 years or every 4 years?
It's usually every 3.
Oh.
But we did not adopt, and the other
we
jurisdictions did not adopt the 21.
I know, and I never understood why we didn't. Because I know we were trying to conform to everybody else, but is that the right thing to do?
Well, it is as far as when you're looking at your stakeholders, you want to give them a consistency throughout the valley. And we don't want to be an island out here where people don't want to develop. So we encourage it. Let's work together. I do participate in the Arizona building officials, and I have for 30 years. And we always go over items together.
So do most cities, though, or do they know most cities adopt every 2 years? And we just skipped a year?
Well, this time it
mean,
was
3
every
years?
6. This time it was 6 years. It's also a very expensive
I know it
process.
is.
Yes, it's
But we
costly.
need to be on top of this,
We are,
especially
yeah.
with the quality of homes we're building.
Mhm.
And it's just important that we do that. So I appreciate you not making me get another permit to put a new hot water heater in.
You're welcome.
Do you still require the pan underneath it?
Well,
for the-
it's highly recommended for sure. Yes, it's in the code. Yeah, just in case they leak, and they do sometimes.
Okay, are you going to notify the HOAs that?
Yes, we will have at our forum, we'll provide the letter that gives them our implementation, and then we'll also explain the process.
Okay,
Yeah,
because some
share
of
our
the
amendments.
requirements that you have just put in, like any size or any height of a retaining wall, we have a lot of those in the community I live in.
We do.
Yeah, we do. And we
Yeah.
always have to get an HOA permit, but if we need a city permit, we don't know that unless the HOA tells us, because we're
Okay.
just not notified of that. But then also,
Thank you for that.
because of the hot water, that's really important for us.
Yes.
Because at the age of our community, a lot of us are getting new ones.
And we're finding, and this is why we talked about it with the other jurisdictions, that people are using a contractor to do the work.
We are, yeah.
And so we know that they're being installed safely.
Mhm.
And if it's the same type of installation, we're saving money and time.
Yeah, well, good. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you.
I'm glad we're up to date, or will be,
We will be.
after 90 days.
Yes. Yes. Actually, you can start the next day. This is just
Okay,
a grace
good.
period.
Very good.
Or 30 days, I think. 30 days. Yeah. Thank you.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Councilmember Beckles?
Yeah, thank you for everything that you're doing here. I just have a question on the fire code.
Let's have our expert up here. Thank you.
Yes. Does the fire code include lithium battery in the residential garages?
That is a great question. You may have stumped me. But it does address, the new code addresses from 18 to 24, a significant amount of the best storage within the commercial area. And I'm assuming the residential, but I would have to confirm that with my fire marshal.
Okay, thank you.
I can actually speak for Mike because it is in, sorry. Thank you for asking. Yes, it does address that as far as location, spacing, and things that are required inside the garage as well as outside the garage. Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you all. That's great discussion. With that, I see a motion and a second on this piece. Open up for a vote. Passes 7-0. Now I got the second piece. Next, City Clerk, please read ordinance number 2026-1647 by title only.
Adopt ordinance numbers 2026-1647, amending section 5-2-1 International Fire Code adopted of Article 5-2 of Chapter 5 Fire Department of the Goodyear City Code.
Council, please enter a motion and a second for the second one, ordinance 2026-1647. I see a motion and a second. I assume no further discussion on this one? We all got it covered? Go ahead and open for vote. Passes 7-0. Thank you. Our last item is to consider.
Thank you very much.
What's that?
Thank you.
Thank you. Our last item is to consider approving the Salt River SRP Non-Residential Lawn Conversion Program Assistance Agreement. Please introduce yourself for the public.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Anthony Dudley. I am the Water Services Interim Director. This evening, Andrew Prone will be talking about the SRP Lawn Conversion Program that's for non-residential customers. So this program is pretty unique for the city of Goodyear because we fall outside their service area. So he's going to highlight some points, how it's going to benefit our non-residential customers as well as align with our strategic plan. So Andrew, take it away, sir.
Thank you, Anthony. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. As he mentioned, tonight we'll be covering briefly this opportunity to partner with Salt River Project on our non-residential lawn conversion program. I'll talk briefly what our current program looks like, the current funding and the potential future funding, and how this aligns with Goodyear's strategic plan. Right now, the program we classify it as non-residential. In this case, in the water world, we consider non-residential everything that is not a single-family home. So this includes your HOAs, your multifamily, commercial properties, schools, churches, and even municipal. Right now, the program has, the existing program, which we've had for a couple of years, has replaced approximately 5 acres of lawn, and we're saving about 6 million gallons per year. So within our water service area, there's still more than 350 acres of this type of lawn that has the potential to be replaced if desired by the property. In terms of the funding, right now, we have a base through the Water Operating Fund, we have a base amount that is used to keep the program stable and continuous. Oftentimes, these lawn removal projects from start to finish could be a year or more, especially through an HOA with the process they have to go through with their board. So that helps us to keep the program continuous and stable. And in the past and currently in the present, we have also leveraged the Water Infrastructure Finance Authority, so WIFA. They have a grant available to us that we have taken advantage of related to lawn removal. So that has helped to supplement the existing program. It's allowed us to increase our reach, increase the scope of the projects that we've been able to partner to do. And in a similar sense, the Salt River project is offering also a match program related to the existing lawn removal program that we have. Fortunately for us, it coincides very nicely with when the WIFA funding expires, which is in June. And then that's when the Salt River project funding would potentially kick in as well. So the benefit to this is that it allows us to increase the scale of what we're doing for the properties and the members in our community, as well as keep the costs reasonable in terms of coming in the operating fund. And one other thing I'll mention, actually back on this slide, is related to why is SRP participating in this. They have water conservation goals that they are looking to actively find partners for. And so we are already a partner on some other water conservation projects with them. So this would be expanding that partnership. In terms of how it aligns with Goodyear's strategic plans, fiscal and resource management, that one's pretty straightforward in terms of it aligns with good stewardship of our resources and our funds, as well as resource management in terms of the water efficiency. In terms of economic vitality, it does help these properties, so whether it's an HOA or a business, it helps to reduce their operating and maintenance costs when they are able to replace lawn with a lower water use plant material, helps to save them in water and in maintenance. And in terms of an innovative, high-performing organization, this really just is strengthening our strategic partnerships with those who are willing to work with us. This doesn't cost anything out of our current existing operating fund. So it's really just leveraging an opportunity that's being offered to us. And with that, staff respectfully recommends approval of the agreement between the City of Goodyear and Salt River Project, Agricultural Improvement, and Power District.
Thank you. Any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Anybody in the audience like to speak? Seeing none, let's see, City Council, please enter a motion and a second to approve the SRP non-residential lawn conversion program assistance agreement and provide authorization and direction to the city manager on their designee to take this action and execute documents necessary to carry out the intent of the agreement. I see a motion and a second. Let's go ahead and let's see, we've got Kano up first and Wally second. Okay, go ahead.
Well, thank you for the presentation. I also very much appreciate SRP's investment in conservation in such a tangible way. Turf is really important when it has a purpose for recreation. It's invaluable, but this decorative turf that we have in a lot of pockets, like on slide 4, I think it's over by some restaurants, that it was just put there for a long time ago and it's just been there, and the businesses having to maintain it. And often the water runs off in the street and other places. And so it's very exciting to see that that is being replaced. And so I'm all for this idea. I think it's great. And the fact that you have so much more turf that we can do and the tangible water savings that we get from it. So thank you.
Councilmember Campbell.
Okay, I just have a couple of questions. How would this work for our city? Are residents going to apply to the city to go through the SRP program to get their turf replaced? And does the homeowner replace it and put the, they have to, if they have to remove it, they've got to pay to remove it, then they've got to pay for the rock, then they've got to pay for the plants. How does this work exactly?
Mayor, Councilmember Campbell, thank you for the question. This current lawn removal program that we have only applies to non-single-family residential.
Okay.
So homeowners, right now, we do not currently have a program for lawn removal rebate for homeowners. The process that the non-residential properties would go through is how you describe. Typically, how it works is they submit an application to us. We look it over, review it with them, identify what the pre-approved funding amount would be based on our resources and partnerships, and then they move forward with the project, they complete the project, they pay their vendors, and then they submit that paperwork to us. Part of what SRP requires and for our own accounting is to see that they've actually paid the funds towards a project that goes for lawn replacement. And then we send them a rebate in the form of a check after that. So they do have to outlay the capital ahead of time, and then we do replace or we do rebate a portion of that depending on the project.
Okay,
Yeah,
would
good
this
question.
apply to developers or whoever owns a shopping center? Or you say it doesn't, it's a single resident home, is this apartments as well?
Any other property that is not a single-family home right now is eligible.
Okay.
So it could be a commercial plaza, it could be, we've had multifamily apply as well, municipal facilities, yes.
I think it's a great program. I'm excited about it because all of us, in where I live, we have replaced a lot of our grass with artificial turf, other than our golf courses. They haven't figured out how to do that any differently than it is. But we have been saving a tremendous amount of water and a tremendous amount of electricity to run everything besides that. So thank you. And how do you plan on getting this information out to our residents
Well, to the,
So
if it's passed?
Yes, good question. So we currently have a program in place already. What this does is it increases the funding amount so it allows us to complete more projects. So the word is essentially already out with, our partners, our HOAs and our businesses.
Okay.
So we will, and we have our contacts that we reach out to directly if we think they're a good candidate as well. So there's a lot of one-on-one work that we do, and we typically have a lot of interest that is continuous in the program.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
all right, with that, can you open it up for a vote? Passes 7-0. Thank you. Council have any comments, commendations, reports on current events? Go.
All right, so one for the city manager, a couple. So when I go down Van Buren between 303.
Well, first, just your stuff.
Just what I did?
What you
Okay,
did.
I'll do that first then. Had a great week in DC, which I know we're gonna talk about, and also the concert with Plain White Tees was great too. Thank you.
Benita?
Yeah, I just want to once again reach out to our public safety people to let them know how much we appreciate everything they do. If you look at this weekend, I believe they were at Luke Days. They had 2 ball games this weekend and our Lakeside Fair. So our public safety people were really spread out and spread around, and they've done a wonderful job. And I think they need to be recognized for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Kano?
Well, we were at the National League of Cities Conference last week, and I had my first in-person subcommittee meeting on energy, environment, and natural resources. Very interesting. Some cities are dealing with too much water, which I can't imagine what that would be like. But across the nation, people have different water issues, different power policies and strategies and things that they use. Certainly, there's a big move to lobby the federal government because of the cost of infrastructure is so high for cities to get some help with that. And big conversation about the concerns of plastics in our environment and how they've really infiltrated everything, and hoping to get some sort of consistency on addressing that in terms of packaging and things like that. So anyway, it was interesting, learned a lot.
Councilwoman Gillis?
I was at the League of Cities in Washington, D.C. with Laura, and I had my meeting for the Federal Law Enforcement Committee. And it was very interesting. And we spoke on behalf of our local law enforcement as well and got some ideas of what is coming down the line from the federal government and what they're expecting and what they want us to be aware of. And I have to say that it was probably the most interesting meeting that I have been to in my 4 years of being on this council. It was very, very informational. Thank you.
Councilmember Campbell?
Okay, I presented at the First Tier Suburbs Committee because I'm a vice chair of it. And I was so proud to talk about how Goodyear got a downtown because over 70% of the United States or of all of America, they're all in the suburbs. So we are a huge component of what happens in everyone's community. And we as our city, they're using us as a model. And I'll be presenting as well in Nashville to give them an update on what we're doing because we're so unique with having no downtown to have what we have today for GSQ. But what was really interesting is that I attended the Transportation and Infrastructure meeting as well, of which I'm on the steering committee. And unfortunately, they were not too helpful in saying what they thought we would be getting for federal funds for transportation. It seems it's stalled in Congress. We'll have to see that happens. But it was really an honor to represent Goodyear, and it's always fun to go back and hear what other cities are going through and trying to help everyone find a solution. So we'll tell you there's 2 more meetings that I'm going to in the summer, and we'll see what we can get out of that. But we're trying to get more money for economic development. We're trying to get more money for transportation. We're trying to get more money for our We Ride, and we're going to see what we can come up with working with the federal government. So that's it.
You know, what I found interesting at the Lakeside Music Festival, when I got up there on stage and introduced the band, I mean, I saw nothing but a sea of people. I didn't even see any open spots out there at all. And I'm guessing, do we have any numbers? I'm guessing there had to be about 12,000 people out there, at least. Do we know how many people we had out there?
Well, you're stealing my thunder, Mayor, for my city
Okay,
manager
well,
report.
then I'll let
so.
you do the, I'll let you do the thunder on there. But before we get to your thunder, anything on council that have something for the manager? Now is your turn. Now is your turn.
I was just really excited, so. But yeah, so so when I drive along Van Buren, I noticed that there's like a road alignment kind of weird issue there between 303 and Citrus. So just something to note there. And then I brought it up about 8 months ago about renaming the road into Goodyear High School to Maverick Way, and I haven't heard anything back about that yet. I know we did Wolfpack Way or over in Estrella Mountain Ranch, I think fairly quickly. So I know we have a template. I'm just curious where that's at as well. And then the Lakeside Festival was great, and I think staff did a fantastic job. People were super excited about it. And I know at the very end, I was looking at the stage, and I thought with our Visit Goodyear and our tourism, I thought it'd been great to have a Visit Goodyear banner or a background or something like that, just to continue have that. Now, I know we're new at this tourism thing, but in all our events that draw people, it'd be great to have our own branding in the background of, or at least on the stage or somewhere. I saw another example, I think it was Visit Charlotte or something on another band that I saw like online. So I think it'd be great to just kind of weave that into our events that we already have. So those are the kind of things that I had. So thank you.
Anything else? All right, manager, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. And obviously I got information down there, Vice Mayor. We'll work on those and get back to you on the information on those 3 items. Wanted to have a go back on one of the previous council items was related to the traffic signal cabinets. Just to answer Councilmember Campbell's question, we have about 120 traffic signal cabinets across the city, so we are over halfway. So soon we'll be limited by the number of traffic signals we have out there, not the number of cabinets, not the program itself. So that's good news. So going back to the Goodyear Lakeside Music Festival, I did want to report out, as several of you were there, 10,200 attendees.
That was close.
Which represents about a little over 6% increase from last year. But if you're going back to 2024, it's about 27.5% increase in attendance. So it's really become a great draw. It always has been, but a great draw for our community. So 5 incredible bands leading up to the headliner, Plain White Tees. I know that, Mayor, you were there along with Vice Mayor and Councilmembers Campbell and Beckles on stage, alongside our Estrella partners. I don't know if you had a microphone to do some singing as well, but I know you had a spirited roll call that prompted a little bit of roar from our Goodyear residents, so in attendance. So that was a great highlight there as well. So just a little bit more of the numbers. We had over 30 food trucks that our festival goers were enjoying, as well as an artisan village, arts and crafts, yard games, and more. And I just wanted to thank the heartfelt thank you to our dedicated city staff and community volunteers whose hard work and passion made this event possible. So that's all I've got, Mayor.
Yeah, the one thing is you were going to do a framing in on what percent. I'd be curious what percentage of the people that were in the audience were actually Goodyear residents? Because the whole idea was to expose us to outside people there for how Australia's doing and all. So when we get that data, I'd love to know what that makeup of that percentage is. Because I know you got a way of fencing it off, and cell phones picks up that data, so that would be kind of interesting. Same thing when we do Juneteenth. I think a lot of people that go to that event are not necessarily our residents. So it'd be nice to see how many people are coming because they like what we put on out there. So with that, I got the next meeting is April 6th. No further business. This meeting's over.